Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And today I want to start with two quick announcements. First up, I've got a coupon code for you from Hobbylink Japan. You can use the code KKRT10 to get 10% off on any in-stock items in the model kit category, which of course includes any Gunpla that they might have in stock. You do have to be fast though, because the code is only valid until the 26th at midnight Japan time. So for America, that is the morning of the 26th. And talking about fast, you might have noticed that this video is one day earlier than usual. And that is because tomorrow I should be on an airplane to Japan to go check out the World Expo and the Gundam Pavilion and other such things. So in the future, you can expect a video on the Gundam Pavilion. As for the rest of the schedule, you shouldn't notice anything too different from the usual. Gundam News will simply continue as usual, and as for the other weekly video, I've made some videos in advance for while I'm in Japan. Which, by the way, is also why you might have noticed that glog that's been in the background for the past few weeks. That's the model kit that I've been working on recently, but because I had to make those videos in advance, I didn't have a lot of time to make almost any progress on the thing. So yeah, when I get back from Japan, you'll probably still see that thing in the background. But now, without any further ado, on to the Gundam news. First up, for the American audiences, they unveiled some of the Gundam Wing things that they'll be selling and handing out at their Comic-Con San Diego booth. Like this clear color high-grade Wing Gundam. And then by attending the Gundam Wing panel, you'll get a goodie bag containing some really cool stuff. There's a Heero resource card, a Zex resource card, an RX-78-2 Gundam trial kit, a Haro card that comes with a barcode for a music playlist, a Gundam Wing comic, an event-limited t-shirt, an event-limited poster with a secret design, and then also a really cool bag in which all of this comes. It's got the Wing Zero custom on one side and the GQuuuuuX on the other side. And for more Gundam Wing news, we go to the figure front. Last week we got a lot of figure news, and this week again we got a lot of figure news. Like this announcement for the Metal Robot Spirits Wing Gundam and SH Figuarts Heero Yui, who looks like he's ready to blow up the thing. More details will be unveiled on the 24th, meaning like a couple of hours after this video goes live. Next up then, we got somewhat of a continuation from last week. Last week, the Link Travelers World of GQuuuuuX Machu and Nyan set got announced, and this week, the Link Travelers World of GQuuuuuX Machu Coordination set got announced. It'll set you back 8,800 yen, 60 US, and it will allow you to display Machu in a lot of different outfits. You've got her pilot suit, optional jacket for her pilot suit, her streetwear, her loungewear, a pair of slippers to pair with her loungewear, an alternate hairpiece to pair with her loungewear, her beanie, her hat, a backpack, a handbag in which, well, more of a bag you can put the Haro in, 5 different faceplates, and a bunch of hand options for both her pilot suit and her other clothes. The only downside is that despite being able to make 3 complete bodies, depending on the parts combination, you can only make 2 complete heads, because we only get 2 hair pieces, being her normal hair and then her lounging hair. But you can of course combine these pieces with the stuff that you get from the Machu and Nyan combo set. So yeah, it's definitely not cheap, but if you're a Machu fan and you like SD figures, then this is definitely something to consider. Plus, while it is a standard release, just like the Machu and Nyan combo set, you'll get 2 extra faceplates by pre-ordering it through Premium Bandai. There's a very happy face and a very pissed face. But regardless of where you get it from, it'll be releasing in January. And equally adorable is the second lineup of Bit Lot Gundam, or as I prefer to call them, not quite Lego minifigures. Just look at them. You can see that they are clearly very inspired by them. One of them will set you back 748 yen, 5 US, and the available ones are the Gundam Real Type with Bazooka and Shield, the Vanilla Jim with Beam Spray Gun, Beam Saber and Shield, the Goof with Heat Rod, Heat Saber and Shield, Sayla mask with a suitcase full of gold, and the choice between a normal hairpiece or a hairpiece with a headset, and Ramba Raw with a machine gun, and the choice between a normal hairpiece or a hairpiece with his helmet on. And because of their universal design, you can also mix and match accessories, like giving Ramba Raw the goof accessories or giving Sayla Ramba's hair. They don't show that you can do this last thing, but you can. Or at least you will be able to when they release in December. Another lineup of SD mobile suits then is the 11th volume of Mobility Joined Gundam, the SD figure series that focuses on being movable. And in this 11th volume, there's a total of 8 sets to collect, going for 715 yen each, 5 US. There's the G-Sky, which comes with a Sky Grasper and 35% of the RX-78-2, the G-Bull, which comes with another 35% of the RX-78-2, and you can then combine it with the G-Sky to form the G-Armor, the G-Sky and G-Bull option set, which, despite the name, actually comes with the remaining 30% of the RX-78-2, including weapons like its beam rifle and a beam saber. Then there's the RX-78-1 with a beam rifle and shield, the Dom with a heat saber, the Dom X parts with a giant bazooka, beam bazooka, and parts to turn it into the Rig Dom, Char's Gelgook with a beam rifle, and finally Char's Gelgook X parts, which includes the Beam Naginata with 2 curved blades, 1 straight blade, and a part to store it on the back, a shield, a high mobility backpack, and a cannon backpack. So you can make Char's Gelgook even better than it was in the anime. Maybe that'll give him the edge to beat Amuro, or maybe not. But what I do know is that this set will be releasing in January. And finally for the figures then, we've got some premium Bandai Limited FW Gundam Converge figures. So brace yourselves for that price. Releasing in December, there's the Destiny Gundam Spec 2 and Zeus Silhouette, going for 7,975 yen, 54 US. A price that hits as hard as a shot from that large linear cannon. But at the very least, you are getting more than just the Destiny Gundam with the Zeus. It comes with a dedicated base to put it on, and you can also downgrade it to just the Destiny Gundam Spec 2. It's got the extra legs, arms, a beam rifle, a stored and active beam cannon, and a stored and active beam sword. Unfortunately though, they don't mention or show that you can put the Zeus Silhouette in its flying mode, so when you're buying this, don't count on it being able to do that. But if you really want a Destiny Gundam Spec 2, then in January, a standalone set is releasing for 4,345 yen, 30 US. And this thing comes with almost everything you'd want from a Destiny Gundam, like the Wings of Light, a fancy action base, Palma Fiestina hands, a beam rifle, a railgun, a shield, a stored beam cannon, a stored beam sword, and the beam sword being held by both hands. So still, for the ultimate package, you might want to borrow some parts from the Zeus Silhouette combo pack. Moving on to some more miscellaneous items then. We got some new announcements from COSPA, which will also be available from general Japanese retailers in late October, with pre-orders being up right now. For some people, GQuuuuuX was apparently quite a snooze fest, so for 1,540 yen, 10 US, those people can now buy a GQuuuuuX Char Aznable eye mask to help them sleep. And of course, it is also perfect for people who like GQuuuuuX. And then for the Gundam Seed Freedom fans, for 880 yen, 6 US, you can buy these Tsumamare keychains. Tsumamare means pinched in Japanese and refers to the fact that these keychains kinda look like you're holding them up between your fingers. There's Kira, Lacus, Athron, Kigali, Shin, Lunamaria, Izak, and Diarca, and it's definitely fun to see how different their reactions are to being pinched. And talking about reactions, this latest GQuuuuuX merchandise was definitely inspired by Machu's iconic reaction. Because in addition to the normal stuff like can badges and acrylic stands featuring the regular boring artwork, You can also get Machu, Nyan, Shuji, Shalia, and the GQuuuuuuX in a very unique art style with a distinctly disappointed look on their faces. And you can also get these on badges and acrylic stands. And from Quebec, we got even more GQuuuuuuX merchandise with new and interesting artwork. You can get Machu, Nyan, Shuji, Anki, Char, Shalia, Du, and Haro as part of their Marukole, which are plush ball keychains, their Muni Kara badges, which are textured can badges, and 4 types of Onamai Pitanko items, which are illustrations of the characters together with their names in Japanese. You can get them on acrylic keychains, rubber keychains, mini acrylic stands, or can badges. And then for Machu, Nyan, and Shuji, you can also get them as Mofu Mofu coin cases, with Mofu Mofu meaning floofy. And if all of that merchandise made you hungry, then in November you can get the Itajaga Gundam Visual Art Collection too. One package will set you back 171 yen, a little over $1, and each package contains a snack and one of 28 metallic illustration cards, featuring art from Unicorn, Endless Waltz, Destiny, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. But so far, they've only shown us this Strike Freedom illustration. Or if you want some free merchandise, then from July the 19th until August the 31st, you can participate in the Gundam Stamp Rally 2025 at Lalaport Fukuoka. By collecting all of the stamps, you'll not just get a really cool card featuring the Sazabi, the new Gundam, and the life-size new Gundam, but you'll also be allowed to spin the wheel for a prize. You can win a real great RX-93FF New Gundam, an RX-93FF New Gundam metal stand, a twin ticket to Kidzania, 60 minutes at the Versus Park with G, or the consolation prize, 1 free play coupon at the Namco arcade there. On the gaming front then, in UC Engage, a new Total War event has gone live, as well as a new event unit assembly featuring the UR Norris Packard and his UR Goof custom, and in Super Robot Wars DD, the Crossing Pilot R2 edition has gone live. This event includes a rerun of Lelouch's Wing Gundam Zero Rebellion, and I believe that this event also introduces Suzaku's Wing Gundam Zero, the Wing Gundam Zero Albion, which he then uses to fight against Lelouch. In other news then, we've got some new Advance of Zeta artwork featuring the Advanced Marasai Hoist Rare, the Ozla Raw 2 Rare, and if you look very closely, the Gundam TRS. Next up, we also got some Gundam Manhole news. From July the 25th, this RX-78-2 Manhole card will be handed out in Komoro in Nagano. You can get this from the Komoro Tourist Information Center, but it is limited to only 1 card per person. And additionally, it is explicitly forbidden to ask random passerbys to get a second card for you, to change your clothes and pretend to be another person to get an extra card, or to straight up threaten the staff to give you a second card. And unfortunately, all of these rules are based on accidents that have actually happened. So while the first 2 are kind of funny, the last one is just sad. Like, imagine being that employee getting literally threatened over a card. I mean, I know what's been happening in the Pokemon scene, so I'm also not surprised somehow. On September the 10th then, this RX-78-2 and Zaku 2 Manhole are planned to be installed in Himeji in Hyogo. But if you're currently in the area, they are currently already on display. Until July the 30th, they're on display at the Himeji Tourist Naviport, and then from August the 1st until the 31st, they'll be on display at the Himeji Museum of Art. And what I also saw this week is that apparently in Japan, there are scam emails going around pretending to be Premium Bandai, and I'm sure you all know these kinds of emails. They're like emails pretending to be from a famous company like Apple, or from like a famous online game like RuneScape, or from like a bank in your country, and they're telling you that there's something wrong with your account and that you have to act immediately by of course pressing on the link that is included in the email. And now Premium Bandai has also fallen victim to these practices, with the email asking people to update their payment settings, which could then be potentially disastrous if you fall for this scam. So stay safe out there and always check who sent you the email. As for the things you could get this week then, starting Monday, 2 new Gachapon collections spread across Gachapon machines in Japan. For 500 yen a spin, 3 US, you could go for the Gundam X Miku figure collection, featuring Miku in a variety of Zeon-themed mobile suit onesies. There's Char Zaku with leak, the standard Zaku also with leak, the standard Zaku again, but sitting, and the Zagok, which is definitely the funniest of the bunch, because the Zagok's claws aren't attached to Miku's hands, but to Miku's twin tails. And for 800 yen a spin, 5 US, you could gacha for this Gundam-based limited capsule structure RX-0 Unicorn Gundam version TWC. As the name indicates, this Gachapon is limited to Gundam bases, and there's a total of 3 Unicorn Destroy modes to collect. You can get it with a red Psycho frame, a green Psycho frame, or a blue Psycho frame. And what I also think is really cool is that you can use the capsule that it comes in as a base to put it on. Next up in late July, we got the RMS G-Structure Tragedy in Jaburo Material Color Edition for 5,060 yen, 34 US. And what is important to clarify here is that Material Color Edition is simply a fancy way of saying that this is the unpainted version. So while most of the promotional images are showing images of the painted version, you will have to do this yourself. But in addition to the base itself, you are also getting waterside decals for the markings on the road. And then finally today, Momoro Clover Z's newest single called Event Horizon has been released in 2 different versions. There's the standard edition for 2,200 yen, 15 US, and the limited edition for 3,500 yen, 24 US. The standard version comes with just the single, whereas the limited edition comes with a slightly different track list, a Blu-ray containing the music video as well as a making-of video, a different cover, and 1 of 4 Arsenal-based promotional cards. The cards feature the Momoro Clover Z Custom Zeta Gundam with 1 of the 4 group members, but in-game all 4 cards function as the same card. For this week's reading material then, it was announced that the Gundam Next Future Pavilion guidebook will be sold in more places in Japan, both online and offline. And for those interested, I'll have a translated version of the locations up on screen. It's locations like Amiami, Softmap, and Yodobashi Camera. As for the apparel news then, it was all straight G this week. Beginning with these Gundam Wing Dry t-shirts going for 4,950 yen a piece, 34 US. They went up for sale at physical Straight G stores on the 19th, and you can choose between a white Hiro Yui t-shirt or a red Zex Merokis t-shirt, which is like a really weird misspelling, because usually when you see like a weirdly spelled name or an odd typo in Gundam or another anime, it's because of how the name is written in Japanese versus English. But that's not the case here, so I'm not sure where that O came from. But anyways, next up, we've got the Zeta Gundam pin set, going for 5,500 yen, 37 US. It includes a big pin featuring brand new Zeta Gundam artwork, a stylized logo of the Aeug, the Titans, and Neo Zeon, and a Hyaku Shiki pin, all inside of a nice case. And unlike previous pin sets, they finally filled up the entire case, so it no longer looks like there's a pin missing from the set. And all of these pins can be yours on August the 2nd. And finally then, in collaboration with Tamashii Nations, they released various items featuring a collage of various Gundam main characters and side characters. You can get Amuro, Char, Camille, Heero, Setsuna, Mika, Suletta, Kira, Atheron, Shin, and Machu, on a t-shirt for 5,830 yen, 40 US, a tote bag for 3,300 yen, 22 US, a towel for another 3,300 yen, 22 US, and a clear file for 550 yen, 4 US. And all of these items have become available at the Tamashii Nation Store Tokyo and the Tamashii Spot Osaka on the 18th. And that has been all for this week's slightly early Gundam news. Don't forget to check out Hobbling Japan with the code KKRT10 to get 10% off on any model kit items. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.